Oh man, what's up, fam? Just made it back from the ADOS conference. Still got on the wristband. Sitting around wondering where everybody at. You know, I had a couple ideas I want to talk about. Um, as well as some of the other stuff. Just waiting for my shit to pop up on Streamlabs. I don't know what's going on with all my stuff on Streamlabs. It's supposed to be popping up with my tip jar, with my footage at, I don't know what happened. Maybe my device is acting crazy. I don't know. But anyway, the conference, the conference was great. I'm not gonna be able to see your comments right away. If you hit me up, if you got questions, they'll stream across here, and I'll be able to read them and respond verbally. But I won't be able to type in responses or even know that the responses are there unless you hit me up. But we could talk about it a little bit. I can answer any questions as far as and all opinions are mine. You know what I'm saying? Disclaimer: all everything that's be said is the thoughts of Brother Hatim, and you know what I'm saying. Just my opinions about some of the stuff or some of the ideas that was spawned. And one of the ideas that hit me, and this hit me a while ago, but I don't know if I ever said it. I, for the life of me, don't understand why more churches are not, black churches, are not involved with the whole reparations movement. Especially those churches that have a loyal base of followers that are tithing on a regular basis. And maybe that might be one of the areas that we need to start hitting, especially if we belong to those congregations. Because one, is ethically the right thing to do for us to push for full citizenship, full protections, to push for an elite status. It's the right thing to do. But what I don't understand is why more black churches aren't involved with this. If you have a congregation of people who have been paying tithes faithfully, and y'all have been able to build together, reparations, at least the cash portion, because now that's something we're going to talk about too, at least the cash portion will be an influx of cash into the coffers of black churches all over this country. People are going to be grateful. They're going to be generous, and they are going to strive to support those institutions that have been supporting them spiritually, especially, like you wouldn't believe. So it kind of boggles my mind that more pastors are not attending reparation meetings locally as well as nationally, are not speaking about it from the pulpit. And if you are, and if you know a church that's doing that, let me know. Because I think one of the focus points that we might need to have, at least here in Columbus, is finding those congregations that are willing to add reparations to their platform. Many of pastors and churches know the struggle that a majority of their congregation is going through. And after you start looking at these numbers, you can't help but to see the design, the hidden hand, and why some of your parishioners are where they are. Because when you go to these places, in a lot of these churches, you don't have lazy, people. Of course, we got some, but a majority of the congregation. Because one of the things that we can say as black folks is that 85% of us are doing what we're supposed to be doing as far as out here on the grind, out here on the hustle, out here on the work. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking that illegal hustle shit. You know what I'm saying? Or some of the our people's top drug man fantasies that they be having and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because until you own planes and really own ships, nigga, you just a peon. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand you might be getting your dough, your bucks and shit like that, but that money is pennies compared to the real motherfuckers that's moving. You know what I'm saying? They're not fighting over kilos. You know what I'm saying? They're fighting over tons. You understand what I'm saying? So, but back to the churches, the hustle, the work ethic, the commitment. And you can see that. And I know it has to kind of boggle your mind, because it has boggled my mind for a long time after working with some of these families and working with some of the people that I'm working with, why they have not been able to be farther. And then to sit down and listen to some of the members, some people who have been members of churches for generations, to listen to some of the stories of all of the stuff that some of their people own. And not be able to pull all this shit together and see there's a hidden hand that's been slowly extracting wealth from our communities. Part of the issue that we have is that many of us are fighting white supremacy as individuals and not as institutions. Understand that white supremacy is an institution. And institutions outlive human beings. So you could put on a good fight your whole life. You know what I'm saying? A good struggle. But if you don't have, in a sense, an institution behind you, and that's what a tribe is. That's what a church is. That's what some of these organizations that are in our community are. They're institutions that should be geared towards finding and getting justice for our people. And we don't have enough of that. We don't have enough of those type of institutions popping off for us, looking out for us. And it's time for us to do it. So one of the major ideas that came up out of this conference, in a sense, many of us have already started trying to do this, is Operation Takeover. Operation Takeover is the idea that we as ADOS, we as conscious ADOS, right, have to start getting into these organizations that say they represent us and start helping guide them on the path of helping us. And part of that is reparations. Family, have no doubt about it that if we are going to stay here in America, which most of us got to because we can't afford to go nowhere else, we are going to have to get what is owed to us. We can no longer play the charity role, where we're going to allow motherfuckers just to go on and work with our money and God to make it right in the final days. No, we can't do that. We can't wait for a Christ moment. We can't wait for a Mahdi. We can't, you know what I'm saying? We got to get up and we have to start moving now. And one of the major institutions that we have to really start looking at and evaluating are the spiritual institutions that are in our midst. One, I think it was Pastor Cosby said that one of the three C's that he used to describe what our institutions are supposed to do for us. One of them is bring us into consciousness. bring us into consciousness about who we are, where we are, and when we are. If we are confused on any one of those, who we are, where we are, and when we always gonna make the wrong choices. Always gonna make the wrong choices. So we have to start pushing these organizations to start ingraining and waking people up. Waking them up to the realities of where we are. Very, very, very important. So we have to really start mobilizing around these organizations that belong to us, because our family understand that the formation of the church, the church for black folks was originally designed as, in a sense, a safe haven for us, not a place to escape reality, but a place where we could come to terms with who we are, where we are, and when we are, right? Where we were able to pull the meager resources that we had and really start to build. Because if you look at the center, because it's certain common traits for the development of tribes and communities and cities. You know what I'm saying? One of those pieces is that religious institution. One of those pieces is that religious institution. Please understand that, right? The religious institutions and the markets are what, in a sense, keeps a community going. Because in the church, it was more than just praying going on. Churches were designed, or at least for us, are designed for more than prayer going on. Shit, I want y'all to think about this. In many cultures, it's the church that motivated a lot of the industriousness that was used to conquer the world. They propagated the ideas that the society had. It propagated the values that the society has, that allowed, in a sense, what we call white supremacy to grow as much as it has grown and to spread in the way that it spread it. You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand that we are using a major, because if you look at our struggle, man, a lot of our struggles were first generated in the Christian church. My question is now, why isn't the church generating movements at this point in time? Could it be the doctrine that's being taught up in there? You know what I'm saying? Because hell, like places like the Urban League and the NAACP probably started in churches before they got their own buildings. Civil rights movement come up out of the church. Where did some of the people decide to rise up and fight? In the church or religious situation. Hell, even the Haiti Revolution, they was up worshiping in the woods when that shit popped off. So we have to understand. We have to understand that piece. And just being in the midst of that conversation, these type of things start popping up in your head and coming out of people's mouths, because this is why it's important to be around people of like mind, because you can share ideas. Like I ran into a young boy, I think a young man, excuse my language, from Detroit. I'm horrible with names. I think he was from Detroit. And he said one of the things that they're doing is a survey. And this was a brilliant idea. A survey, a nameless, faceless survey that they gave to all of their members and to other black people in Detroit, so that they can so that they can actually look at the financial data. And I've been kind of thinking about something like this along the lines of doing that within our community, because we only got about 700 people on Facebook. We got, between my two YouTube stations, And then with the text messaging, we might have access to maybe about 800 people that live in Columbus. And I was thinking about putting together a survey to send. You don't have to put your name, but I just want people that fill out the survey to put down the truth, because I want to look at the actual demographics of the people that are around us. Like questions like how much money you actually have in the bank right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the fictional shit. Do you own a business? If you own a business, how many people do you fully employ? Not, not, what I'm saying? I want real numbers, because I want us to really, because we really have to get an idea of where we are. Because one of the things that stop a lot of the movement for us is that many of us are caught up in this fictitious land where we are acting as if we already received our reparations. This illusion. And one of the major pieces that comes from African spirituality, and I constantly talk about that, is that the whole concept of ma'at. You can't practice ma'at from an illusion, from something that's not real. You can't move in ma'at. You can't be about ma'at and exist in illusion. So our own African spirituality screams at us to do the work to help dispel the veil of our set, because it's the veil over our face. Not only the decadent veil that Antonio Moore talk about, but we have a light veil that's over our face, because in many cases some of our realities are so fucked up that we have to create illusions so that we can make it day to day. We got to tell ourselves, and we got to be aspirational in how we live, because it always got to get better tomorrow. Let's just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if somebody comment. I don't even know how many people is on here. Another piece that came out the conference was a sister, and I don't know her name, and I am so upset that I didn't get it. But I hope that they will be bringing out videos with each session of the speech of the conference, because the sister did a dynamic presentation yesterday about housing and ADOS and housing, and how by us being pushed out of wealth and being pushed out of the ownership class, how we are being, in a sense, as Byron Allen called it, being pushed into an economic genocide. Because one of the things that we have to realize is that our home ownership has been declining over the last few years. And it is the lowest that it has been. And I got to get the numbers, because this is going to be something else we need to work on in Columbus. We got to get the numbers for Columbus. We need to put it into a nice little ebook, which we have the skills to do, because you, as you see with the e-course, you know what I'm saying, we have the ability to do that and make it free so that people can download it and look at the actual numbers in Columbus. How does this affect us in this place where we are? You know what I'm saying? Because I need people to really understand the seriousness of this whole reparations movement, the seriousness of the condition of our people, where we really are. So that survey will help with that. But also, because one of the questions is, do you own your home? Like how much is what percentage of your rent, what percentage of your income is your rent? Right? How many of us are paying over 30% of our income for a place to live? Because that is a dangerous territory to be in. And how many of us are possibly paying 40 to 50% of our income to maintain a house over our head. That's important information that we need to know. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody is paying over 50% of their income for rent, right? But then they're under illusion that they're balling. You know, oh my God, you know, we got some work to do, fam. So another piece that came out, she spoke about rent and how the hurdles have been put in place to stop you from becoming part of the owner class, because it does not benefit this society for you to become part of the owner class. And that's part of the whole reparations movement, because we got to understand that everything that we are asking for, cash is a part of that. Cash is a part of that. Please understand that, family. You know what I'm saying? It's not all about money. It's about putting us in the ownership class. Like they're about to start doing this 5G, and there's certain bands that the government starts auctioning off and selling and renting out. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to receive some of the benefits from some of this bandwidth that they're going to be selling for them to make this 5G. And when they eventually move to 6G, we should be receiving some of that dough. We should have ownership of some of that shit. It is nothing. I mean, it's nothing but bandwidth. You understand what I'm saying? Hell, this whole marijuana piece, a certain percentage of that need to be ours, right? You know what I'm saying? Cheap loans. You know what I'm saying? If even loans, maybe even some grants for home ownership should be there. You know what I'm saying? And that home needs to stay within that family. I'm talking about real homes. I ain't talking about these cardboard boxes that they be building and charging us $150,000 to $250,000 to get. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's a lot of work that has to be done, and we have to understand that when we start talking about reparations, we're talking about elevating our status as a group in America. Because although a lot of us want to believe that a lot of these people made it through the sweat of their brow by getting up early and outworking everybody, there were certain benefits that was presented to them that was never presented to you. And in fact, they even had opportunities to fail. How many of y'all out there got opportunities to fail? Also, they had a magnificent panel ending the conference yesterday. Pastor Kevin Cosby was on there. Yvette Carnell was on there. Tone Talks was on there. And I don't remember the name of the West Asian brother that was on there. It was an excellent discussion where they answered the questions that many of the ADOS fam in the crowd had. Excellent. Like I said, some of these discussions, y'all really need to need to listen to. Now, this morning, they did one on social justice and the internet. Now, in this workshop, because I'm gonna get the family Gye-Nyame to sit down and watch this workshop. It's about a 45-minute video. I got to get it. Well, actually, it's on Tone Talks. It's on Antonio Moore's site, on his YouTube. You need to go on and check that out. This is why. Because it talks about using the internet, using this digital media as a weapon for our cause. Now, and the same information that she says for ADOS, it can also be used for other things as well. But the piece that is key there is learning how to use the internet to move us forward, right? You know what I'm saying? Because, we mastered the use of hashtags for fuckery. Now we need to master the use of hashtags for some nation building, for some tribe building, for some family building. You know what I'm saying? Because what the hashtag does, and we spoke about this on Gye-Nyame Journey, it allows your information to be categorized. So, for example, you look at my shirt. Well, not this one. This one is the KN, but you know, KN is about to be hashtag. But if you look at hashtag Daily Toaster, hashtag Daily Toast, if you look those up, all of my shows will pop up. That's why the shirt is simply hashtag Daily Toast. And those that want to do the whole lineage therapy thing with us, you know what I'm saying, you can walk with us on that journey. But the hashtag is a marker that allows you to mark your content so that people can find it. So that people can find it and people can have access to that group of ideas. Like hashtag ADOS, hashtag G&J Media, hashtag ADOS/Columbus or whatever city you're in. Right? So it's a hashtag that helps categorize all of the information. And every now and then, as a group or as an individual, you can just look up that hashtag and you go through and you can start pulling out the information that you need. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like a filing system. It's a digital filing system that you can use to in a sense, sharpen your digital sword. Help you find better content. We're moving into an information age, and information is in a sense the new currency. This is why you have all of these major companies that are really setting up new platforms to get access to your data. Not only are they setting up the platforms, they are trading, they got you trading money to get on these platforms so that you could pay them to have access to your information. Like Netflix, like Uber, like the new deal, Disney got a new channel coming out. All this shit that you might subscribe to on the internet, not only are you paying them, but you're giving over your data. You understand? And in trading your data, they are able to package your data to either refine what they send to you, because they know it's certain things by looking at your data. It's called what they call it. They don't call it super data. It's called big data. By them going through your big data, like this, how deep this shit is. There was a news report just yesterday on NIA. It might have came out on Ujima, where they were talking about big data, and the question was, do some of these platforms like Google, like Amazon, like, do they have the responsibility of warning you about shit that may affect your life by looking at your searches? Like, they have been able to figure out, for example, with pancreatic cancer, they are able to determine who has pancreatic cancer by what individuals have been searching for online. And they're able to connect the medical searches and the other searches that you do to determine whether or not you have whether or not you may have pancreatic cancer. And they have narrowed it down to two major things: that if they see that you're searching on your timeline, they see that you're searching on your Google, they're able to extract this big data, and they're able to tell you that more than likely you might need to go to your doctor. And they can tell you a month early than when you are feeling extreme pain, and all of a sudden you go to the doctor and be like, you got pancreatic cancer. They can save you 30 to 60 days by looking at what you're searching, because you're looking up your symptoms. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all, we have to start learning how to master some of this shit, and understand that when we sign up for this stuff, once again, wealth is being extracted. Right now, wealth is information. You know, I need some money, but we need to go and start training ourselves and training our young people on how to start using the new currency of this day. And that's data, that's information, being able to look at the numbers and determine people's choices. All right. So with the speech today, what the sister was talking about was using and becoming better at wielding the major weapon and major wealth builder of this time, and that's the social media and our information. So, in also another piece that came up to me, and I don't remember the sister's name, and I will be talking about her soon. I'm going to try to arrange an interview with her. We have a sister running for office, and her platform is reparations. And I'm going to expect I'm calling on all of my thug brethren out there. Our brother Hatim don't need you to ride for me on anything else, but I need you to ride for me on this. If we find political people that are willing to make reparations part of their piece, I want us to show out at the voting booth. We're going to have to start registering, and we're going to start motivating some of us that may not never vote. See, because what they don't, a lot of times when they count their vote, they don't realize how many of us are really disengaged with the political process. And in order for us to take over Columbus, because I can't be concerned about all the other cities that was at that conference, but I am concerned about Columbus, because we can really set a precedent here in Columbus. We can. With the whole city council piece that's about to go down by 2023. You understand what I'm saying? With the school board and some of the other shit, with us starting to get information and start really being able to speak up for ourselves, because we could come from an intelligent point, a database point, when we're talking to these so-called community representatives. With all of the they call them what are they called? Because you got city council, and right below the city council you have area. There are little political pieces that community members go into, and these community members shoot stuff up to the area commissions. You know what I'm saying? We have to start getting in these things and start making sure that we're taking care of our people. Because right now, let me tell you part of the way that they are moving our elders out of their homes and moving some of you out of the homes. I want y'all to think about this. They are raising the tax rates. They're moving in, and they're creating these opportunity zones, which the sister talked about. They're creating these opportunity zones. And these opportunity zones are not opportunities for you. They're opportunity for those with capital, which in most cases, they don't look like you. And they're able to come in here and get tax abatements. Now, check this out. How does these taxes work? The taxes help fund the schools. So if I give you a tax abatement for 10 to 15 years and you buying up all this property, where does the schools get the money? Where do some of the other services that was coming to these communities, where do they get the money from? If they have whole areas blocked off. So the opportunity zones are not opportunities for you. It's opportunities for people with money to come in and extract more wealth from you. Because they come in and they create this affordable housing, but then all of a sudden you start seeing that every year, especially after the tax abatement is done, every year, your rent starts to increase. Your rents start to increase. What is the numbers in Columbus for the average or the median amount of rental increasement in the city? Is it 3%? Is it 5%? Is it 10%? These are questions that we not only can find an answer to, but we can hold our political representations feet to the fire to make sure the shit happen, and we can start training ourselves. Because I want y'all to think about this. If We have a young lady that's going for a seat, and I won't speak for the seat yet, but if she is serious about reparations, we could come out and put her in office. Not only put her in office, but use this as an opportunity for not only the older folks to learn about politics and how the funding and how the campaigning works, but we can start training our young people on how to do it. That's rites of passage right there. That's rites of passage right there. How do you determine what area a person is going to get the most votes of? How do you determine how to change somebody's mind to vote on for your candidate? How do we use social media to make sure that our candidate's piece is always on in somebody's face, so that when they go to the voting booth, because a lot of times people they recognize the name and click the button. And those that are informed, as they're standing in line, they're talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Hell, you got people outside the thing talking about it. See, word of mouth works for us. And also us talking to our cousins, talking to our friends, and convincing them that now is the time for us to really get politically active. Because some of these small races that's coming up before this presidential campaign, they're going to be counting how many vote. When they see more people's coming out and we're able to turn the tide here in Ohio, because the chapter head for ADOS, for ADOS Ohio is right here in Columbus. We in 7 cities here. Well, maybe not 7 yet, but we moving towards 7 cities, family. Tribing up. Where are you at? What are you doing? What illusions are you chasing? Because the real shit is going down right now. And it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? By 2053, it won't matter whether you're a Moor or whether you're a Hebrew. Whether you're Muslim or a Christian, it won't matter. Your wealth will be at zero and all of us will be renters. And I got a question for you. Where are all of us going to go when we can't afford the rent no more? Some of us are in this position right now. Because what happens with the empowerment zones is that the businesses get displaced. So because I want y'all to think about this. Where is the money coming from to loan to the individuals that are going to do these major projects? They come from hedge funds. The hedge funds come in with one objective: make money. We have to make our investors happy. So every year they got to make money. This is why your rent goes up, especially if you live in apartment complexes or your house is owned by one of those conglomerates. This is why your rent always has to go up, because they have to satisfy their investors. And what's crazy is that many of us with our retirement accounts may be some of the investors that they're trying to satisfy. So not only are we participating in our own destruction, we are being falsely shown. We up under the false idea that the little bit of returns that we're getting are going to help us as we get older. So the whole political process could be hijacked right here in Columbus for us, and we would set a precedent that could move out. What would happen if we got enough people and enough support to get Columbus, Ohio, to do a proclamation in support of reparations? Not HR 40, but to do a serious resolution in support for reparations for ADOS. For the city council to recognize the plight of the ADOS group in Columbus as well as nationwide, and set up send out a proclamation that states that this city is in support of the idea of reparations. Not the research of reparations, but actual reparations. Now, family, let me ease your mind, because Dr. Cosby basically said, and Sister Kim reminded me about this. He said, "Stop worrying about the how. We need to focus on the why to get us motivated, to get us moving." Because I want y'all to think about this. When they are declaring war, even when we in a recession, nobody asks how they're going to get the money. When they're making all these allocations for special projects, nobody asks how they're going to get the money. You understand what I'm saying? So your job is not to think about the how. Your job is to think about the why. The why. Because the why is what's going to push us into the next level. Another piece I was having, and I constantly have discussions with the ADOS family about this, is it's not about the numbers for us. It's about those that are serious, and it's about those that are that can be that part of that stubborn minority that moves us into power. Are you part of the stubborn minority? Because it's stubborn minorities that move shit all over this planet. Stubborn minorities. Most good ideas, most great ideas, most world-changing ideas, if everybody is doing it, is not a good idea. I want y'all to understand that civil rights at first was not a good idea. A lot of people thought, that's stupid. Y'all never gonna get that. You're not gonna change nothing. You just a bunch of young punks. Y'all don't know nothing. Y'all been around working with these crackers for all this time. They ain't never gave us nothing. They never gave us nothing. Right? But it took a stubborn minority of especially young people. What surprises me about the membership of the ADOS family here in Columbus, we have a lot of elders, which means we're a lot more progressive than other places, because in other places it's just mainly young people. Columbus, we have a mixture of elders and young people. Many of the elders are homeowners, and they could see that these motherfuckers are creeping slowly. Because some of y'all, I want y'all to check with your grandparents. Ask them about their taxes. Ask them about some of this predatory lending that's going on. Ask them about this reverse mortgage shit that was designed to extract wealth from poor black people. Poor people in general, but I focus on black. These reverse mortgages and these other loans that they craft to, in a sense, give black folks money in the short run, but in the long run, extract as much wealth from them and their future generations. Act like you at war. You at war. Don't you know part of war is cutting off your enemy's supplies and resources? That's what you're supposed to do. Army is moved by its stomach. What provide food for the army? The resources of the country, the money that they have, the infrastructure, and the wealth of that country enables them to be able to produce enough food so that they could send it and get it to the military so that the military could do what they need to do. What does the enemy of a country that's going to war do? My job is to try to break down your infrastructure so that I could weaken your troops. If I could cut off your line of supply, if I could destroy some of your resources, if I could slow it down by just a week, that means I have time on the front lines to break the will of your soldiers and win. It only takes a week. Motherfucker already stressed because he's on the front lines. Now he ain't got no food coming. What that mean? It means defeat. So family, I just wanted to sit down and have a couple minutes with y'all. I can't see any of the comments. I wish I could. I can't see none of the comments. I don't know what's going on with I probably have to shut my phone off and turn it back on. If you got good comments, I'm going to come back and try to go back over the stream and look at if there's comments, and I will get back at you. But the conference was excellent, and I'm seriously thinking about doing something here. Of course, tribe-based, you know what I'm saying? Because as the idea of the whole tribe and up piece moves, because like I said, you know what I'm saying? Well, in Gye-Nyame, we move as a tribe. You know what I'm saying? We're a tribe. You know what I'm saying? Because my goal, and like I said, my goal is I have to find ways. I have to find ways to find, for those members of the tribe, I have to find ways to put money in their pocket. I have to find avenues and build connections so that as supposedly as a master nation builder, I'm supposed to be able to provide my family, those family and friends, with some type of income, especially those that's working on building the tribe. Now, if you're not working on building the tribe and you're down with Brother Hatim and you ain't getting no money in your pocket from what we doing, that's your fault. Because I have a circle of people that's able to eat. Because that's my goal. When I see you, you know what I'm saying, in some form or fashion, you should be able to extract some value, some type of connection, some type of something from me so that you can provide for yourself. And if you have a family, that too. That's what nation building is about. That's ultimately what eldership is about. Because by the time I'm an elder, there's a certain amount of money that Gye-Nyame has to have in the bank. There's a certain amount of jobs that I have to be able to provide for those around me in order for me to even be able to even walk around and say that I'm an elder. You understand what I'm saying? Because if I won't say so as an elder, you know what I'm saying, I got to make sure that I have say so over some dinner tables. I have to be able to provide. See, because that's what we're missing in a lot of the discussion in our community. Because as elders and as nation builders, how many people have you reached back and pulled up with you? They're able to look you eye to eye because they are able to do something that provides on a consistent basis a living. This is the type of work that we have to start doing. And I'm just telling y'all right now, because a lot of people are worried about other people's pockets. Family, listen to me. Because a lot of people are like, oh, we get money, but niggas just gonna run around spending money, blah, blah, blah. Like we got money now. Some of us grew up without money, not even knowing that we were poor. Not even knowing. As my sister Jackie said, we don't know until the funeral. How many of us did, you know what I'm saying, Uncle Bobo was balling, and we come to the funeral, Uncle Bobo ain't got no wealth to pass on to nobody. He has been doing so much with so little and good credit. As nation builders, we have to find ways to employ others. That's what being a nation builder is about. The warriors go out, find and protect resources and take resources from our enemies. The nation builders are supposed to be able to have the mindset to go in and look at the resources that we have and look at the resources that we take and monitor how it's being protected to make sure that the enemies cannot get in and take that, and learn how to extract the wealth out those resources so that you can pass it to the people. Those nation builders in turn become elders, and they are able to teach other nation builders to do what they're doing. And those nation builders are supposed to become better at it than that nation builder that's now elder was. So now they are able to use the resources that was there before better than the elder that's the elder now. And they all owe allegiance to this elder because the elder provided them with something. And in many ways, because he stood alive, they are able to still be in blessing. Your life is supposed to be a blessing upon others as an elder, as a nation builder. Your life is supposed to be a blessing. In many cases, and I hate to say this, in many cases, you are supposed to be sorely missed if something happened to you. Because in many cases, because of the way that you worked, many people's life, because you were a blessing when you were there, lives may start fall apart if you are prematurely taken away. And if they were not listening to you, their livelihoods will be in jeopardy because it's directly connected to you. But as a nation builder, you have to be training other nation builders how to be independent enough to be able to run it, but still connected to the whole. But no, it's just a title that we, some of us get, some of us just get these titles and we start running around this motherfucker. Like, what I'm saying? Family, evaluate what value you bring. What jobs are you providing? A nation can't be built with just thinkers and readers and studiers. We need motherfuckers that could fight. We need motherfuckers that could shoot. We need people that could build. Work pipes, fix cars. Not just study. See, because a lot of us think that consciousness only comes through books. No, this is why one of the focuses for us is to get people out in the woods, because it gets you connected to something bigger than you. When we sitting around the fire and we talking, for some people, damn, it's bigger. What's those glowing eyes over there? Damn, there's a lot of shit going on in the world that I didn't know about. Why these motherfuckers over here ain't scared of this? I need to work with them. They comfortable. What's going on? What are you talking about? I got to go out in the woods by myself. Light switch. Damn, there's something bigger out here than me. Something bigger protecting me. I have a connection with something deeper. Boom. And then as a nation builder and as an elder, I'm supposed to be able to show a mechanic how through their trade, they are able to make a connection with something higher. You are able to, you can fall in the zone, not only on the basketball court, not only when you in studying, not only when you speaking, but you can fall into the zone while you fixing an engine. Hell, come up with something new. You come up, be in the zone while you repairing a computer. Come up with a shortcut that nobody ever had. But no, we want to focus on the consciousness from the book and talk about just a lot of ancient shit. It's big. We need more than that. We need more than that. I ain't saying we don't need that. We don't need everybody on that shit. Because I'm asking what history the Zulu warriors study. Well, they studying history, was they out there kicking ass? They was allowed to be warriors. Pyramid builders. What books they read? How much studying they was doing? Oh yeah, it was some people that was studying that was leading them, but the majority of the people that was building on those pyramids, they didn't have that, You had some skilled craftsmen. The majority of them wasn't studying like some of y'all be trying to tell us they were. Then also, so I'm going to have to get up out of here. I got to go work on this newsletter. I got to finish this newsletter and formulate a couple more articles. And family that's out there, I want my damn articles. Get the articles. Let's go, family. What's going on? What's going on? Y'all know how to get in touch with me. Try. Get at me, because it's time for them articles. I want the articles. All right. So, family, be on the lookout for the G&J article. I'm going to be talking about this representative that's coming out and who she running against and all this after I do a little bit more research on her. And have some form of conversation. You understand what I'm saying? Because like I said, politics is an exchange, family. And we got to stop just giving our shit away. You know what I'm saying? We can't be that political hoe no more. We can't be politically loose no more. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker got to pay for our shit nowadays. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all just political whores. You just sleeping with the same group of motherfuckers all the time. And go to the ballot box and they hit you off and send you home. No. We got to go. Before we even enter the ballot box, we got to receive payment. We got to receive, as they say, tangibles. And for those that don't understand what tangible is a word that is used to talk about something solid. This is tangible, something you can put in my hand, not an idea. Because a lot of us, we've been getting over on ideas and shit. You know, just saying. I just came from a church, man, in Kentucky, that is the largest employer of black people in the city. I don't think y'all heard me. I just came from a ministry that is the largest employer of black citizens of that city. Run by a brother that's would be considered at the elder age in our system, that's providing the livelihood for a couple of hundred people. We on our way here in Columbus, family. The models are out there, and some of the new shit that we got, is already here. All we got to do is start supporting. Family, check it out. Once again, I do my commercial. Y'all see the Cat In shirt? It's black on blue. You can check out the black on white, but you can see it. You just can't see it on camera that well. You can see some of the letters. This that Cat In shirt, our thing. This is our thing. We are building our thing, family. We are building our thing into the future. Now, also, I posted up a video because one of the brothers I ran into came, y'all won't even believe this shit. This brother came in from South Africa, ADOS, came in from South Africa to participate in the conference. Brother came through, and just so happened, he recognized me. He said, man, I've been watching some of your videos and blah. So we started sitting down talking. And he was dropping it, but we started talking about his YouTube channel and my YouTube channel, and he showed me a video on his things where he was interviewing James Small. Now, y'all heard Brother Hatim talking about how we are generational people. I want you to go to the timeline, and I want you to look at the information that this brother brought me, right? I never seen this shit before. But James Smalls is going into this whole, what Brother Hatim has been calling this, we are a generational people. I want you to go and listen to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because some of y'all be like thinking I'm fucking around. I'm telling y'all, family, it's so much information out here. And I ain't just talking about on the internet. I'm not just talking about books. It's just if you just take the time to really invest yourself into your passion. My passion is my people. My passion is nation building. My passion is tribe building. I have been looking and I have been studying other shit. And for years, I've been doing the same thing. So I sit down and shit hits me. This is what I do. You know, I know y'all be like, why does nigga get up early in the morning and be this? That's what I do. I've been doing this. So once you get to a certain level of some shit come to you. That's why when you watch some basketball players, they're able to pull a move up out their ass that you never expected. You never seen them do because they are dedicated. They are passionate about what they do. So they're able to do it. You see it on the football field. You see it on the basketball court. You hear it in the pulpits on Sundays. You see it when our scholars are talking. You hear it in the freestyle raps. Some of y'all hiding y'all gifts. I'm just saying. And our people need them. Our people need your gifts. We need you to get in where you fit in. And that's not, so for some people, that's an insult because some of y'all want to be shit that you're not. You need to get in where you fit in and be the master that you are at what you are a master at. And just let me give you a hint. Most of you motherfuckers ain't Malcolm X. Most of y'all are not Pharaoh, not a Pharaoh. Most of you are not a chief. Most of you are not a king or a queen or Harriet Tubman. But it's something that you could match them on their level at what you do. God could be found, just like I was talking about, God can be found in the midst of you working on an engine. God can be found while you're putting a computer together, because that's that flow state, because you get to see the miracles and you get to see what happens. And you get to see your connection to something higher than yourself when you are able to invest yourself in what it was that you were put on, that you chose. Let me be very clear. In Gye-Nyame ain't about you're a random event. In Gye-Nyame, you were meant to be here, and you chose to be here at this time. This is the time of legends. This is the time. We are in a point in history where if you get busy now, your children and your children's children and your children's friends will be singing your praises for the next 300 years. Right here, like I said, you got to know when you are, where you are, and why you are. All right, this is Brother How to Tell My Mom. Peace.